Hello, Gurney students. This is Ms. Schanneberger, and today I'm going to explain our landmarks project. The first thing you want to do is go ahead and open up Google Chrome. Then make sure you're on the third grade drive. Click on the Google tile, and we're going to sign in to Gurney Student Third Grade. Now remember, our password is always the same, FATCATSAT. And FATCATSAT does not have any spaces or capital letters in it. Then once you get that typed, go ahead and click Sign In. Then it's going to bring open folders of all the third grade teachers. You want to go ahead and double click on your teacher's folder. Then you want to find you and your partner's project. You'll notice I'm opening one that says Miss S. Now in everyone's project, I've already added the name of your landmark. You can see mine says Statue of Liberty. And I've also gone ahead and added the coordinates of your landmark so it was really easy for you to find. So what I want you to start out with is copying your coordinates. So remember, first you have to highlight, and don't forget any of the letters or numbers. Then you're going to right click, say copy, and then we need to go over to Google Earth. Now remember, we don't want to close out of Google Chrome. We want it to stay open because we're going to come back here. So all I want you to do is click down here at Google Chrome to make it smaller, or you can also go up here to the minimize button. Once you get Google Chrome smaller, you go over here and double click Google Earth to open it up. Now remember, Google Earth takes a few seconds to open. We want to let it open and load until the Earth in front of us stops rotating. All right, now that it's all loaded, I can come up here to my search box. I can right click and say paste. Now, if I did everything right, my coordinates of my landmark, which is the Statue of Liberty, will appear in the search box. Then I click search. All right, so I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Remember, you're always zooming in towards the yellow pin. And then you want to see if you can get a good view of your landmark from the street. So I'm going to drag my little orange guy down. And for my landmark here on the island of Liberty Island, you can see there hasn't been any activity for Google Street. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my little orange man back. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. And I'm going to go over here to the main part of New York. So not the island part, but the main part, and see if I can't get a close view from this part of New York. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I have to turn my screen just a little bit. But there you can see is Lady Liberty, also known as the Statue of Liberty. So what I'm going to do now is kind of tricky. It's brand new. What we want to do is we want to give a command to our computer called screenshot. Okay, you might have heard that when it comes to iPads or iPhones, but you can also screenshot your computer. The button is at the very, very top of your keyboard. Okay, you're going to notice that there are buttons labeled F1, F2, F3, and all the way down to F12. Then right next to F12, there's a button that says print screen. So I want you to go ahead, when you find the picture of your landmark that you want to use, you're going to push the print screen button on your keyboard. So I'm going to do that now. Now you'll notice I just did it, but nothing actually happened. Just like when I copy text, nothing really pops up and says, hey, guess what? I copied your text. The same thing happens when you screenshot. It doesn't tell you that it captured it or it's remembering it. You just kind of have to trust it. So now I'm going to minimize Google Earth, and I want to go back to my project. So in this box, you can see it says picture from Google Earth of your landmark. So to get the picture of my landmark that I just screenshot, what I need to do is over here along the side of my Google slide, I need to right click and I need to say paste. Let's see if it'll work. All right, there it is, just like my screen. It shows everything, right? So I'm going to need to make this a little bit smaller. And we remember from last year, the way we do that is we click on the picture and then we go to a corner. Remember, don't go to the middle points. Okay, that'll stretch or squish your picture. Go to the corner and you're going to drag it to be smaller. Now, it doesn't have to be totally small. It just has to be small enough that it kind of fits in this box. It also doesn't have to perfectly fit in the box, just as good as you can get it. You don't want it to cover up the words of your landmark at the bottom. So that looks pretty good to me. So I have the picture of my landmark. I have the name at the bottom. Now I'm going to go over and click on slide 2. Slide 2 asks me some questions about my landmark. So now that I'm done with Google Earth, I'm going to go down to the bottom and I'm going to X out. We're totally done with it. The next thing we need to do is we need to go along the top of Google Chrome and we're going to open up a new tab. Okay, we all know that that's that little white. Sometimes on your computers, it actually looks kind of light blue. It's this little parallelogram shape, and we're going to click it to get a new tab. Now, when this new tab opens up, I need to go to KidRex. That's where we find information. So I'm just going to start typing in KidRex. Okay, did you notice how it popped up? KidRex. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to go to KidRex. Another way you can get there is just press your home button and it'll take you to our Symbaloo, which has KidRex on it. Okay, so either way, just get to KidRex. Then in the box, you're going to search your landmark. If you don't remember how to spell your landmark, remember your project is still open up here on the tab. So you can go back and forth between knowing how to spell it and actually typing it into the box. Or if you want to be really tricky, you can copy and paste, okay? That will save you a lot of time. Either way, once you type it in or copy and paste, you can say search. If I go back to my slide 2, you can see I need to find out some information about my landmark. I need to find out when it was built and where it's located. So those are the first two things I'm going to look for. So I'm going to click on this first website. Okay, and it takes a few seconds to load. I'm going to go down just a little bit. Oh, if a pop-up comes up, just X out of it. All right, so I'm looking for my facts. Okay, so you can see it says on July 4th, 1884, France gave us the Statue of Liberty. Okay, it's 15 stories tall. I'm noticing a lot of really great facts in here. Let's see. So it says, finally, in 1886, the statue was dedicated. So they gave it to us in 1884, and it really kind of became a statue in 1886. So on my project, I'm going to go back to it, and I'm going to say, France gave us the Statue of Liberty in, and I can't remember, so I'm going to go back, gave it to us in 1884. So 1884, period. Now remember, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect spelling. Just do your best spelling, okay? I know that Statue of Liberty is a proper noun, so I had to give it some capital letters. Then I'm going to say where it's located. Now, the Statue of Liberty is located in New York City, which is in the state of New York. Okay, so now that I've answered those two questions, I'm done with slide 2. So I'm going to go over and click on slide 3. On slide 3, it gives you some room that you can add more cool facts. So you'll notice on this website, there are actually a lot of cool facts about the Statue of Liberty. So I could say one of the cool things about her is she's as tall as a 15-story building. So she is as tall as a 15-story building. Okay, I could press enter to get my next bullet, and I just keep adding facts until this page is filled up. Or let's say have about 4 or 5 good facts about your landmark. Once you're done with that, you can call Miss Schanneberger over and I will come and check out your work.